Greetings friends, welcome to the Trophy/Achievement Gameplay Guide. In this video I'm going to show you how to add trophies to your game, and what's great about trophies is they give your dreams a real sense of progression, and your players can sort of work through it and earn all sorts of different trophies, and it might actually encourage them to keep playing for all those completionists and perfectionists out there. Woohoo! Alrighty friends, let's get stuck in, and this is a nice and simple one. Ah yee! Alrighty friends, so I've actually set up a very easy sort of bronze trophy already, and what happens is when our player gets into this, jumps onto this block, they're going to get like a first steps trophy, you know what I mean? It's kind of like the first trophy you get in the game when you get past the first area, that sort of thing, and I've kind of just put it on a very small simple scale. So let's just test it out quick. So my dude jumps over here, and there we are, we've got a nice little trophy that pops up. So how do we do this, friends? Well, first of all, we're going to get ourselves a nice little variable, and I've called it trophy first steps. The reason I put the word trophy in the beginning is just because if you have a bunch of variables in your games, it'll be useful to be able to differentiate between it, you know what I mean? By just adding trophy in the beginning, so all the trophies will be sort of grouped alphabetically together. Alrighty, so we'll just make the min value 0, the max value 1, and we'll make it persist in dreams, so that if your dreams is like a multi-scene one, then you know you'll keep your trophies if you go to a different scene and so on and so forth. Then the next thing we're going to do is get ourselves a variable modifier, and of course it's going to be affecting the trophy first steps. We're going to set its operation type to get, so it's going to find the value, and then we're going to link it up to a timeline. And what's going to happen is, basically when this is set to 1, it's going to activate this timeline. So let's have a look at this timeline now. So it looks like there's a lot of stuff here, but it's actually pretty simple. We've just got the sort of background for the new trophy pop-up. We've got the name of the particular trophy, and then we've got the type of trophy. So I've just kind of used one of the dreams icons, and it looks like we've got a bit of like a bronze trophy. And if you want to change this, you can make it like a nice silver trophy, you can make it like a gold trophy, you know, whatever you desire. Cha-cha-ching. And you kind of just mess around with that as you desire and as you see fit. So basically what happens is this keyframe just moves the particular pop-up, the trophy pop-up, out of the frame. So when we play it, this is kind of just a default keyframe, it moves it back into the frame, and then it sort of runs away, like it sort of does. And then I've just got a very simple sound effect over here. So let's go again. Puching. There we are. So that's what happens, friends. Now, how does this actually get triggered? So we see the sort of building blocks and so on and so forth, but how does it get triggered? Well, here I've got a very simple trigger zone, literally nothing fancy at all, just a little circle. I changed its position so that it works when our particular player jumps in. This is literally just a default trigger zone with possessed controller sensor. And what happens is when it detects the player, it's going to activate this variable modifier, which is set to set. The operation type is set, and it sets it to 1. So essentially, at the moment, it's set to 0, the first steps trophy. And if we jump, it gets set to 1, and it triggers our timeline. Alrighty friends, so that's how you add in like a very basic trophy, just kind of like a true or false trophy. Like you can do this when you defeat a boss. For example, when a boss's health equals 0, then it could, you know, set this to 1, and it'll be like you beat the first boss if you get to a new area. But now friends, I want to show you a different kind of trophy, which is a count trophy. So friends, an example of a count trophy is like get 100 kills or collect all 500 pine cones or whatever it might be. The logic is not all that different from the sort of true or false trophy, but there are 1 or 2 extra elements. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to copy all of this stuff, all 3 of these things, just wholesale, and put them down over here. We're going to rename this trophy, and I want to create a count trophy that counts the amount of jumps that we're doing. So I want to make it that when you get 5 jumps, you're going to get the Jumping Maniac trophy. So we're going to go to our trophy, our new sort of variable trophy, and we're going to call it Jumping Maniac. We're going to make the min value 0 and the max value 5. So if you jump 5 times, you are a Jumping Maniac. Okay, sweet. Variable modifier, we're going to change it to Jumping Maniac. It's going to go get value and so on and so forth. But now, one of the differences is that Normally this will work after it equals 1. So when it's 0 it's false, when it's 1 it's true. But we don't want it to just be 1, we want it to be a specific value. So we're going to delete this collection over here, delete this connection, bit of a tongue twister. Then we're going to go into gadgets and we're going to get ourselves, we're going to go logical processing, and we're going to get ourselves a calculator. Then we're going to make it connect to A, L1 in square, and make the particular operation of this calculator equals, and then we're going to go into the B and we're going to make B equal to 5. So in other words, when trophy jumping maniac, this particular variable, equals 5, then it's going to activate this trophy. Now we're going to change this first steps trophy to our jumping maniac trophy. Perfecto. Then we're going to go in here, and I think we're going to change the name of it here, of course. We might need to rearrange the text display ever so slightly, because now it's a slightly different size and things might be overlapping somewhat. So we'll maybe move this over here. And I'm going to be like, okay, cool, actually Jumping Maniac is a silver trophy, let's be honest. Swing. So now we've got Jumping Maniac. That looks cool. You can do a different sound effect for silver trophies if you want to be extra, you know what I mean? It's all totally up to you, friends. So now we've got a system that checks, okay, cool, we've got Jumping Maniac trophy. When it gets to 5, it's going to give us the trophy. But now another problem is how do we actually count our jumps? So we're going to go into our puppet. We're going to go to our puppet interface, and we've got a list of very useful outputs here. And these are all super useful for any kind of trophy related stuff. But here we have jumped. So basically, whenever our character jumps, make sure you don't just connect it to X, because you can sort of mash X a bunch of times, but you won't actually jump all the same amount of times as you've pressed X, for example. Because you could like be pressing X, but you're not going to actually jump again until you land, if that makes sense. So we're going to use this. We're going to go puppet interface, go to the first page of outputs. We've got our jumped output. We're going to put down a variable modifier, connect it here, and we're going to make it so that, what particular variable are we looking at? We're looking at Jumping Maniac. We're going to add 1. So in other words, every time you've jumped, it's going to add 1 to Jumping Maniac. Okay, sweet friends, let's see if it works. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we are, friends. We've got the Jumping Maniac trophy. It's as easy as that, friends. You can make it so that if you wanted to get it like when you've got like 100 kills or 100 enemy downs or whatever it is, you could just make it so that when the enemy's health equals, you know, you go into their health modifier and you go no health, and you'll connect a variable modifier just like this, and it'll be like +1 when you've sort of lost or whatever it might be, when you've sort of defeated an enemy, and you use a calculator just as before. And really, friends, this is the gist of it. There's sort of true or false trophies, which are super easy, just require like a trigger zone or like defeating a particular boss or whatever it might be. And then you get count trophies, which are really nice because you can, you know, make like, ooh, get 10 kills, get 50 kills, get 100 kills. You can also use it to like unlock stuff, you know what I mean? This kind of uses the sort of if statement logic that I've mentioned in previous videos. But yes, friends, this is really all there is to it. And it's really simple, as you can see here. It's not particularly like heavy thermo-wise either. It's nice and easy. It kind of, I think it adds like a bit of polish to your game. I think if people see that you've got trophies and all these sorts of things, they'll see that you've really sort of added some time and effort and some love into your games to, you know, think about these things. You could also, for example, create, if you have like a main menu, you could create sort of like a trophy book, you know what I mean? Like sort of a database with all your trophies. And it could be like, okay, the first steps trophy, and then you maybe have a bit of a description underneath. And it's like, what you'll do is you'll make it so that when your particular variable is equal to 1, then it's going to, you know, open that section of the book. Or, you know, it might normally be grayed out and you don't know what that trophy is. Or it'll just be lit up, all these sorts of things. You can use it just using this logic that we've got here. And the important fact is to make it persist in Dream. That's a very important fact. So that when you sort of go to your main menu and your sort of particular scenes, that it stays the same. But yes, friends, that's really all there is to it. It's nice and simple. And yes, I hope you found this useful. Please let me know if you did, and if you want me to make any other sorts of videos relating to this stuff. And yes, I hope this was useful, friends. Catch you on the flip-flop. Peace out! Hey, thanks for watching, friends. I just want to give a massive shout out to my Patreon patrons, or as I like to call them, the Mean Knights. Thank you so much, Tap Giles. Ooh, thanks so much, Tap Sensei. Whoop whoop whoop. And Salt Levels Max, my first patron. Ah, ye. Friends, if you want to support your boy and get access to some bonus content, consider becoming a patron. Thanks for watching, friends. Peace out!